We often don't realize that we are the key to our own happiness, and that happiness starts with healing and transformation. Whether you need healing, guidance, clarity, understanding, or just some honest sister talk to feel connected, heard, and supported, you are welcome and safe here. So join the conversation and be healed. Welcome to Soul Healing Conversations with your host, Roz Kincaid.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Soul Healing Conversations. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Guys, today I'm feeling good. The energy is feeling good for me today. I think we got a full moon in Leo coming up, but I'll let my guest talk a little bit more about that when we get into the show. But got me a little candle lit. Took me a shower today. Put some nice clothes on, and I feel great. I feel good today, and I'm looking forward to having a great show. And I appreciate you guys being with me on this episode. So today, you guys, I am going to be sitting down with none other than Wanica Dunn, aka Miss Astrology, for some astrology talk. But before we get into that, let me share with those of you who are new to the show how you can connect with me. If you guys like what you hear today and would like to work with me one-on-one, then I invite you to book a session with me. Go to rozkincaid.com, go to my services page, or go to the little calendar up in the right-hand corner and book me for some Reiki, for a reading. You can book a coaching session, but I'm going to talk about those changes with that in just a few minutes. But when you go to my website, you can also find some downloadable free content called 10 Practices to Master Your Energy, because that is very important right now. We all need to be aware and cognizant and very involved in how we manage and master our energy, not just to protect ourselves, but to manage the shift that's happening. Because listen, we're all going through some kind of shift. We're all going through it. It's not just me. It's not just you. We're all going through it. So wanted to present you with some content to help you get through the transition, through the transformation. So jump on that. You guys be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Soul Healing with Roz to learn more about all the good things that I'm doing. Speaking of which, in March or April, can't decide yet. It's still kind of up in the air. I am going to be transitioning Soul Healing Conversations to another platform. I think I might end up going to YouTube, y'all. I haven't made a final decision on that yet, but I'm still kind of leaning in and tapping in and hearing and feeling into what direction Spirit is wanting me to go with this show. But I do feel like it's time for a change. I'm an Aries, so I do like change. A lot of change. In order to stay connected with me through that transition, I invite you to follow me on social media. Speaking of which, transitions, I did create a new 8-week coaching program. I recently, late last year, got certified as a spiritual and life coach from Life Purpose Institute out in California. And I am forging ahead with building out my coaching practice. And I have created an 8-week program. And I am still looking for women who want amazing and impactful results with going from feeling drained and overwhelmed by the many roles that you may be playing to feeling energized and connected, either in your work or relationships, or you want to create more abundance and just feel confident to show up and be your true authentic self in your life and every area of your life. So if that sounds like you and it sounds interesting and the thought of a shift like that lights you up and it just makes you feel some type of relief and feel expanded instead of contracted, then please do email me at hello@rozkincaid.com. There is a small investment required to get in on this, but I'm telling you, any investment that you make in yourself is more valuable than the coins that you pay to invest. So hold on to that message. You are more than worth it. So now on to today's conversation. We have lots of changes going on around us, and our society as a collective seems to be making a major shift. And y'all know that I love me some astrology, and I like to stay on top of what's going on and tapped into what the cosmos are telling us. So joining me in conversation today is Wanica Dunn, aka Miss Astrology. Wanica's been on the show before, dropping some knowledge to help us ready ourselves for all of these cosmic shifts. And I'm telling y'all, every time she's on here, we have ourselves a good old time. And I'm like taking copious notes, making sure that I know what's going on. And I just told Wanica before we got on the show, listen, I need to book you because I need to know what's going on. So I have decided to have Wanica back for another episode. Wanica is an astrologer based in Houston, Texas, in the United States. She pretty much teaches the language of the sky. She offers birth chart readings as well as some online classes. So you guys make sure you stick around for the end of the show to learn how to connect with her. Also, she was featured in Allure magazine as one of 2020's premier Black astrologers. Now, that's a big deal. Now, if that don't get you wanting to connect with her, then I don't know what to tell you. So, you guys, welcome back to the show. Wanica Dunn, Happy New Year, girl. How are you?
Happy New Year. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good, hanging in there and just feeling good. I'm glad for the shift. I tell you that. Glad for the energy to be breaking up. So
yes, it definitely is.
Yes. So let's get right into it. Late last year, we had what is called the Great Conjunction. I think it might have been like during Capricorn season, right?
Right.
And so I was getting a lot of questions from my followers, and I was reading a lot about it. So I feel like let's start at the end of last year, what happened last year, because I feel like that whole energy is still carrying through. And so give us some insight about the Great Conjunction, what it is, and, how it affects us.
Right. And you're right to start there, because I did a webinar recently, and I was talking about how to make the best of 2021. And I was like, guys, we cannot go into this webinar without talking about this Great Conjunction first. That is the most important thing here. And so it does make perfect sense for us to be talking about it. Now, what a conjunction is. So, me, I'm the teacher. That's the Sagittarius in me. And so I want you guys to really understand the basic premise so that you can look for this in your own chart in life and how to apply it. So what a conjunction are when two planets are on their path in the sky, and they're within 10 degrees of each other. Now, this doesn't happen often because the planets all move at different speeds through the zodiac. So Saturn, which is a slower moving planet, and Jupiter don't become within 10 degrees of each other or conjunct, but every 20 years. And so this this conjunction happens every 20 years, right? So it's kind of like, okay, I don't want to get off track, but this is why I predicted the election the way that I did as well, is because I know the conjunction that was coming up. So, but with Saturn and Jupiter, they do this every 20 years. So you may say, oh, okay, well, it's every 20 years. It's not that big of a deal. Yes, it is. They have not done it, one, in an air sign in 800 years. And two, Jupiter, Saturn, and the sun all met up at 0 degrees. Oh, Lord. Now, Saturn and Jupiter were at 0 degrees of Aquarius, and the sun was at 0 degrees of Capricorn, but 0 degrees is a reset. That is a foundation. That is where you do nothing but go up from 0. This is very significant. And this is what makes this great conjunction so significant and something that we really need to pay attention to. So then when you want to say, okay, well, what do I need to pay attention to? The planets that are involved. Jupiter is a planet. It's known as a beneficent planet, like a good planet, but it's not always good. Sometimes too much of something is not a good thing. Right. So Jupiter just tends to expand or bless or exaggerate or overdo anything. Now, the good thing is Saturn's involved, and Saturn moves slower. So Saturn is not going to allow Jupiter to get out of control. So then what this says, just these two tell us that there's going to be blessings on the way, Jupiter. There's going to be opportunity, Jupiter, luck, adventure. This is going to build your faith, your hope, your belief. This is all Jupiter stuff. And it could be exaggeration and over the top and mishandling, like wastefulness type, However, Saturn is saying, okay, I'm going to let your Jupiter blessing be there, but are you going to be responsible? Because this is Saturn's talk.
Right, because you got to pay for that
disciplined?
hastiness at some point.
Right. Are you going to be mature with this blessing? Saturn wants you to grow up. Saturn rules Capricorn. Saturn just left its home sign of Capricorn. And guess what? It also co-rules Aquarius. So Saturn is in charge here. We are going to be given opportunities, but we're going to have to be very responsible and mature and disciplined with them, or they're going to just vanish. They're just going to slip right through our fingers. And see, then you say, okay, well, what does this 0 degrees in Aquarius mean? How does this play out? Whatever we're blessed with, excuse me, we have to think about, and whatever the discipline is with as well, this is Aquarius characteristics, how this needs to play out. Aquarius is the community, the collective. It's our friend groups. I like to call it the sign of gangs because it is. It's a group of people that have a common interest that get together. It's also revolutionary, humanity, independent. Like, you're not going to tell an Aquarius what to do.
Oh, I know. I got one.
Baby,
today.
Let me tell you
birthday's today, and she's a triple Aquarius. You can't.
Well, listen. And that could be a good energy for you, but you're going to have to, that could be a good energy for your sun sign. I know your chart, so I know your moon is not up for it. So we can talk about that another time. However, this is a good time to have an Aquarius child. Like, this is a good, show them discipline because they're going to have luck and opportunity. Really as a collective, because these planets are bigger, slower moving planets, we're all going to be given an opportunity. We're all going to be given a blessing. However, we got to, really be disciplined with it and mature with it and grow with it. The other thing, too, is we cannot forget what Saturn and Jupiter just went through in Capricorn. Saturn was there for 2.5 years and Jupiter was there for a year. So remember that the lessons were to forget the old, like get rid of those old traditions, get rid of government reliance. Capricorn literally rules government. This is Saturn that rules, and Capricorn is like the patriarchy. This is why I voted this way in the election. Or I not necessarily voted, but predicted that in the election, because I'm like, no, it's time for a woman. All of this is going to change. It's going to be very independent, forward-thinking, revolutionary. But what we need to do is implement this in our own lives and still stop trying to hold on to the old. Let that go. Get independent. Get innovative, get about your people, your tribe, your community. Come on. And what your gifts, your luck, your opportunity, that is your blessings, you've got to be disciplined enough to also share that with others.
Wow. I mean, listen, you hit it right on the head, hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Because I've been talking about this privately as well as collectively. On other platforms, is you gotta listen. What do you believe? You gotta look at your belief systems and what does not work and what is expired, what no longer serves you to help you expand. It's time to throw that shit out.
and what you do believe. So, for instance, there are some people, like we're really into this spirituality, ancient. We're getting back to, our ancestors, our ancestral roots, African religion, those kind of things, hoodoo, voodoo. We're getting more into that, right? And we're getting more open. However, there are some people who still are Christians or Catholics or have their certain religious beliefs. And all this energy is saying is, if you believe that, you better stand firm on your belief and let's go.
Right.
Like, you can't be a coward no more. Aquarius is not a coward at all.
Right. I mean,
yes.
Look at what just happened at our nation's capital.
Exactly.
That's a prime example. Like, I know that was extreme and happening from an extremist group, but that's a prime example of, I believe this and I'm going to show you what I believe.
I'm going for it. You can't tell me nothing. So really, for us, what we really need to do is just find your tribe now more than ever and tap into what you have to offer your tribe. And don't shy away. I tell people, all 12 placements are in the chart for a reason. So guess what? Yes, we're moving more to energetic work, spiritual work, and that kind of stuff. But this never takes away from the fact that Taurus and Libra and Capricorn and these signs are in the chart for a reason, because we need money. You know, like, listen, you can get all as spiritual as you want to, but you're going to need some money.
Right.
And so we need to lean into whatever gift it is. If you bring a money gift to the collective, if you bring a teaching overall, an energetic, if you teach people how to fight and protect themselves, Aries, you know, we all have our part, whatever it is, do that thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what that conjunction was about.
Wow.
And 2020 was about finding out what it is that you do, what your thing is. And for those people that you still got a little bit more time, the thing about it is, at this point, Jupiter is moving quickly. And so it's going to hit Pisces by the summer. Now, it is going to retrograde and come back into Aquarius, but this is going to be a retrograde motion. And so this is more internal. This is more reflective. This is different than what we're dealing with for the next 5 or 6 months. Now is the time. Be looking for your blessing, your opportunity, and be looking to be disciplined and focused. Don't forget Saturn, because once Jupiter moves on, Saturn's still right there. Like,
yeah. So, and you know what? That kind of explains like some of this, because I've been feeling scattered for most of 2020. I was feeling very scattered and just ideas all over the place and not knowing which one to put into play, or which, you know, it's almost like, I don't know if you're too much in the tarot, but it's like looking at the 7 of Cups and not knowing which option is best. Right. And then I don't know, you know, something turned over when, you know, we got into 2021 and all of a sudden it's like, no, I need to lock this down. No, I need to go this direction. No, I know this is what I want to do. And it all just like the clarity just started to come. And so my question is, you mentioned Pisces starting to feel this Jupiter energy. I believe you said around summertime. So does that mean some of this anxious, excited energy is going to start to calm down and the waters are going to start to get a little bit more peaceful around that time?
Not necessarily, because the issue really is Saturn. Because Saturn is still there putting limits on in the sign of Aquarius, which is humanity and people and the collective. And so Jupiter is going to give us opportunities to be independent, to be forward thinking, revolutionary about our people, so that when Saturn sits around and puts even more pressure on, you know, like, because remember, Saturn is Capricorn and Aquarius, so it's still that political figure. I think there's going to be limits. I think there's going to be limits on information. I think there's going to be limits on travel, because it's an air sign. I do think they're going to implement that you got to have this vaccine in order to travel with your passport.
Already. We've seen it already.
Yeah, we're seeing it already. And I think I talked about this last year as well. But I do think we got to remember that Saturn is still there. And so it's important for us to decide for ourselves, like, okay, am I going to stay in this country limited, or am I going to move somewhere else and be limited there? Like, I know I'm going to be limited somewhere, but I'm going to be independent and revolutionary enough to figure it out for myself first. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. Wow. That's listen, because I know some people who are itching to travel, and it's like, listen, you can be free, but you're gonna have some limits on you. Like you're gonna have some breaks on
somewhere. You're gonna be stuck somewhere. And so, and this is the other thing too. We're gonna see limits on this social media. I like that you talked about that you were thinking about going to YouTube or something like that. YouTube is not so bad. But the most important thing, and I know I talked about this last year, is that we need to be having our own subscription services, our own platforms. Right. It's not like, YouTube doesn't cost us anything. Well, we need to be able to invest in our own thing so that we can have our own voice. That's Saturn, right? Saturn is saying, where are you going to put your investment in? Where are you going to, put your time, your dedication, something that you value, your money? You're going to have to put this in a platform where, okay, this is my subscription service. My people pay every month to come and hear what I have to say. I don't have to be censored.
Right. And that's why I'm starting to see, and it may have been happening all the time, but I'm on YouTube a lot, like not on there right now, but like looking at videos and stuff. And I hear a lot of YouTubers saying, listen, if you want more of this, go to my Patreon. Go to Patreon.
Patreon is good.
Venmo,
Also,
go to
there's some
Venmo.
other networks. It's just about finding your tribe, about finding what works for you. It's like, that there's, like we said, there's gonna be some discipline. There's gonna be some limits, but at least you can work within your own limits.
Right.
Like, okay, yeah, let me be stuck here in this cute little beachfront condo in Costa Rica and use this internet, because Aquarius is the internet
all day
to make money all day.
So even with us having with Saturn giving us these limitations, these boundaries, I guess you can say, are we at all in a position to help expand those? Or because I don't want people to misunderstand and feel like they're chained or restricted.
It's not about being chained. It's about learning. It's about maturing. Now, see, that's a very good point to bring up. And this is one thing I do say about Saturn when I always give the analogy that Saturn is that grandfather of yours that worked in the same job for 40 years. He, had the same 2 cups of oatmeal every morning and left right at 5:45. And every Friday he went to the same, juke joint or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Very traditional. And you're like, oh my God, that's boring. That's limited. That's restrictive. Right. However, when Grandpa retired at the end of this, he had his house paid off. His 4 children paid through college with, didn't cost anything. $3-4 million in a 401k account from his job that, matched and he was responsible with, even maybe some other investments and those kind of things. So there's reward at the end. Saturn blesses also. This is why I don't call Saturn bad or Jupiter good. They just have this certain energy. Being disciplined and limited for a while can cause you to grow from a different place.
You're right. You're right. You're right. And we probably listen. Of course, it's happening because it needs to happen. We need it. Whether you feel like you want it or not, you need it.
Right. We need to get to where we don't have to have things. We don't have to always be consuming. This is really more also, honestly, for the United States specifically. Especially with like finances and stuff like that, just because of the United States chart. And it's like birth chart. So it's a Sag rising. So right now that means that this Saturn and Jupiter is going through the 3rd house of the United States, which makes it a communication house and information exchange. It's Gemini's house. So yeah, there's going to be limits from our government. They're like, no, we don't want you saying that. We see it already. And it's just going to be more and more. Ever since Saturn and Jupiter went into Aquarius, we started to see all those limitations on social media, people getting shadow banned, and the president at the time. Like, what the heck?
Sorry, I'm laughing. Like, we have never seen, for one, we have never seen a president be so socially media involved and then get shut down.
It made sense, though. He's a Gemini.
Right.
And in the United States chart, the 3rd house is Gemini. So when Saturn went into, because Aquarius, that means it went into the U.S.'s 3rd house, because the U.S. is a Sag rising. So the 3rd house is naturally ruled by Gemini. So this man's sun sign would have, stop, no. We've had enough of you. Kanye too.
Wow. And so remind us again, how long will we be in this conjunction?
Well, the conjunction itself only lasted because remember the planets are continuing to move.
Right.
Saturn and Jupiter are both still in Aquarius, and they're still within that 10 degrees of each other. I think Saturn is 8. Hold on, I actually pulled up the chart in the background. Saturn is at 4 degrees of Aquarius and Jupiter is at 9 degrees of Aquarius right now. So they're still within that 10 degree range of each other. So we're still setting the foundation, we're seeing, I think, opportunities already, blessings, luck, and we're already seeing that, okay, let me be good. If we're not feeling it a whole lot right now, we're thinking about, okay, I need to be for real with this. Like, let me take this serious.
Yeah, it's time to get serious about it. And the other thing, as you were talking, I was thinking or actually hearing is that there's nothing wrong with seeking wise counsel. Okay. That's a wise thing to do. But really, this is going to require us to go within. I really feel like, and look, Pisces, y'all don't need to wait until the summertime, but really we all need to be going within because we all really do know the answer. And this is, I feel like, a prime time for us to really tap in and develop our own internal guidance system, intuition, spiritual connection, whatever you want to call it. But it is really time to.
Now is the time. Please do not wait. If you have questions, seek out. Remember, Aquarius is community. Collective, tribes. This is not a time. Yes, it's a level of independence, but it's independence from Capricorn. It's independence from that's where everything just came from. It's independence from the establishment, the old way of doing things, the old tradition. Remember, Capricorn is old, dark, hard. It's like all those kind of words. So all that old stuff, we're getting away from that. The patriarchism, the consumerism, the material needs, the reputation stuff. We're over that.
Yeah, it's time to. Soul? Yeah, it's also time to start to reevaluate your relationship with money.
Absolutely.
The whole energetic connection that you got with money, because money is only a tangible manifestation of energy.
Girl, I'm glad you said that. It's not just money either, Roz. It's money and food.
Yes.
Remember that Taurus energy? I know I talked about it on the last show, and I won't get all the way into it right now. But that Uranus in Taurus energy is going to bring a disruption to the money supply, to the money value, and to food.
Girl, every time I go to Chick-fil-A, lettuce shortage. I'm like, how y'all still out of lettuce? But y'all still serving up salads. I'm like, see, food scarcity.
So we just gotta change how we feel our value systems with money and food. Absolutely, it's the Uranus and Taurus energy as well. That's the thing. It's not just one area either. We have a really good foundation right now with this Aquarius energy, and that's even a little bit deeper to go into, but. It's like, okay, get your tribe together, get your gifts together, what you have to offer to the collective, get that straight right now. And then you'll be ready when we see the real money stuff and the food stuff really start to affect us. You'll have your people.
You'll have it all in place. Do the work right now. Get it in place. Start making edits and decisions right now, seeking out wise counsel, and, start getting a plan together and start taking some divine inspired action towards what it is you want to create and offer to the world. Because by the sound of it, you're going to need to be ready to go here soon.
If not now.
Yeah. So listen, it's time for a quick break. You guys hang tight. We'll be right back with more with Miss Astrology, Wanica Dunn, right back after the break.
You have a passion, and from that passion, you've created a business. But how do you market and grow that business? Hi, I'm Emily of Shine Coaching and Consulting. I specialize in brand identity, website design, marketing consulting, and business coaching. I create a visual expression of my clients' ideas and help them develop a business strategy to meet their goals. Connect with me today at shinecoachingandconsulting.com. Be inspired, be real, be you.
The Voice America Live Events channel is here now to showcase your corporate, individual, or organization's live event. Visit voiceamerica.com/live events to see all of our past live events and find out more. Whether it's a multi-day conference, special speaker, or single-day event, we've got everything to make your event a success. We can do a few hours or a few days. For more information about taking your event to the next level, call Jeff Spinard at 480-294-6417 or email info@voiceamerica.com. Again, that's Jeff Spinard at 480-294-6417 or send us an email to info@voiceamerica.com. Voice America is where you are and where you want to be. Join us around the globe as we broadcast live from some of the most interesting events available. Don't forget to view all our live events, including on-demand access to past events that you may have missed by visiting voiceamerica.com/live events.
You are tuned in to Soul Healing Conversations. If you would like to reach Roz Kincaid or her guest today, please call into the program at 1-866-472-5788. That's 1-866-472-5788. You may also send an email to hello@rozkincaid.com. Now, back to Soul Healing Conversations.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm your host, Roz Kincaid, and today I'm talking with Wanica Dunn, Miss Astrology, who is just dropping knowledge bombs all over and sharing a lot of great astrological information that we all need to help us make this year better than the last. And so before the break, Wanica, we were talking about the Great Conjunction and how we all, how that's affecting us and how we really all need to be becoming independent, but yet we need to, work within, certain boundaries and start to bring things back into ourselves and on our own platform and look at how, we are relating to money and food and all of that stuff. And I'm telling y'all, if y'all want to do something this year, this is the year to be doing it. And now is the time to start to get it in place, start to make edits, start to remove and add and, things that light you up and give you a hell yes on the inside of your stomach. It's time to do that shit. It's time to do it. I don't know what else to tell you.
Right. The only other thing left to tell you is be ready to put in the work. Mm-hmm. Like still remember Saturn is involved. Saturn is not going to take this away from you unless you don't work and earn it and stay responsible and stay disciplined with it and just really grow from this. Look at this as an opportunity for you to grow. Every day you're growing, no matter how hard it feels like you'll be fine.
You know what just came to mind, and remember I told you before we got on the show, I'm doing this 6-month coaching program. Mm-hmm. And just last week we had talked about the balance between the feminine and masculine energy. Mm-hmm. And it feels like what's coming or what we're being called to do feels masculine. But at the same time, it's like there's still a place for balance between that masculine go, do energy and create, rest. And so I'm encouraging. I know y'all here are hearing what Wanica is saying about what's coming up, but make sure that you are making time to rest, to rejuvenate, to take a time out, because being in this energy of doing it and putting things in implementation and all of this is not going to work if you don't allow yourself the time to really get some clarity, get some rest, get recharged. Just make sure you guys are finding the balance and, don't burn out. You don't need to burn out.
And listen, how about right now is the perfect time. Mercury is preparing to go retrograde. Listen. Anytime a planet is retrograde, I know people always freak out. Mercury's retrograde. Listen, if you're having issues during Mercury's retrograde, it's because you are not doing the thing you're supposed to be doing, which is everything RE related. You're resting, relaxing, re-examining, reevaluating, reading. Anything that's that RE, you're going to redo or just chill. Like, listen, one of my best Mercury retrogrades. Now, some people are like, oh, I thought you're not supposed to go on vacation. I actually went on vacation on Mercury retrograde. Now, I was born when Mercury was retrograde, so I don't always deal with the same issues. However, I definitely made sure I had my itinerary and everything printed out. I gave myself plenty of time to get to the airport. I had no stress. So I went on vacation in no hurry whatsoever. And it was completely relaxing. It was completely to read books. It was completely to rest and realize and review. Mm-hmm. It was no work, no production. Mm-hmm. We are always in that go. And even the universe, Mercury is the planet of communication, our thoughts and our communication. So every 88 days, this planet says, whoa, what have I been thinking about for the last 88 days? Let me shift through this real quick. And it gives you 3 weeks to think about what the heck you've been thinking about for the last 88 days.
See, I'm getting ready to start planning my little hiatuses around them 88 days.
You should. And just make sure that, and even give yourself some time out, like after the retrograde, when you're in shadow period, where you can like slowly, it's like, when you put your car in reverse and then you stop to go forward, and not that the planets are going in reverse, because they're not, but they feel like that, or they appear that way. But when you put your car and you're going straight from in reverse, it's that like you need a second to go back forward now.
Right,
so
right.
You still want to give yourself some time on the other end of a retrograde to say, okay, I got it. I'm ready.
Ease into it.
Yeah. And this is perfect for this time of year. We're going into the year. We have a full moon tomorrow. So full moons are releases. This is a Leo moon. And so you want to think about Leo being the sign of fun and creativity and childhood expression and your inner child and just a good time, royalty,
Yes,
like Leo's like, listen, get rid of anything that's not bringing you joy. It's not. Do you feel royal?
I fully expect my child to take off all her clothes and run around this house naked, because that's what she does.
Yeah, release. Hey,
Release.
That's a release.
Take a note from the kids, y'all.
Right,
Take a note from the kids.
Yes, have fun. You got to think about it. The definition of play, it's one of my oracle cards, is play. And the definition of play is just to do something that has no specified outcome. You're just doing it because it's fun. You're not doing it because you're going to make money, or it's going to make your, go for your exercise goals, or, this is what your spouse wanted. You're just doing it because you enjoy it, period. So go play. This is a Leo full moon. And this is a time to release anything that's not bringing you joy. And of course, we know we have some things in our life that just aren't fun. But I think after 2020, like if you can look at something and be like, look, I don't need you and you're not bringing me joy. Goodbye. Right. That is what you need to do with this moon.
Deuces. Like either do that or continue to live the way you've been living, all struggling and unhappy and
all through the year. You're gonna have to try it again and with the new moon and see what you can do then. But I guarantee you, like, look. Just chill, y'all. We're gonna be good.
Let's see what you can do then when you come to the new moon.
Right. You get one full moon and each sign gets one full moon and one new moon a year. Sometimes you get two with the blue moons, but so it's like, okay, you just gonna have to wait then.
So listen, we have been mentioning Aquarius a lot in this conversation, and I've been reading a lot about the age of Aquarius, and are we actually in the age of Aquarius right now?
It's like I feel like I have to say yes, because Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius. Like, what else is the definition? I don't know. Like, I don't want to sound like I don't know. I think that we are. We're very much innovative. We're seeing a lot with technology. We're very much not gang, but community. You see more people with their tribes and those kind of things. This is very Aquarian energy. So this is what it feels like to me. Because then otherwise, what are we? Age of Pisces. And Pisces is very much spirituality. And that's where we're getting to. But first, we all got to be allowed to get independent and revolutionary and decide for ourselves what our spiritual beliefs are.
Right.
And I feel like that's what we're all into right now with the age of Aquarius. So yeah, that's what I think.
I'm expecting, with COVID and how it's affected the organized religion, I'm curious to see how that's going to change when we all start to emerge. I quit going to church a long time ago. And because just organized religion just don't work for me the way that it used to. And so I still have family members who are still very much a part of organized religion, and that's fine. That works for them. I mean, I ain't knocking them, anything like that, but it's gonna be interesting to see what changes the institution of church makes in order to kind of keep up with these times, and how they can, I guess, regain people. Because I feel like some people who have not been in church for all of this time are like, you know what? I don't know if I need to go back. And it's just going to be interesting to see how organized religion shifts during this time.
Well, Jupiter actually rules organized religion. And so with it being in Aquarius, I think that it's going to just allow people to organize their own religion, if you will. People are going to start making their own, stepping away from the things, the way they were raised or brought up, or either deciding, no, I do believe the way I was raised and brought up, and I'm going to stick with that. Or there's some that are like, actually, I've been studying, and, I think that's a lot of us. It's definitely me. I've been studying, and maybe I'm more into, this, we're all part of the same cosmos and universe, and maybe there's another life. Like, how does this energy actually end? So this is what Jupiter is allowing each people. And then with it being an Aquarius, you're able to attract your own tribe that believe the same thing. Like, that's the thing with Aquarius energy. You'll have the same, focus with your group, the same common interest. So you'll find your own tribe. And that's what we're seeing more of now, specifically with the internet and that kind of thing. But now that Saturn's here, they're going to try to hush us. So, but I think you can even already see so much diversity, even in already some of the presidential picks. And so we're already seeing how it's kind of freeing up in our beliefs. That's Jupiter. And hey, let everybody believe what they want.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also feel like that if you are looking for your tribe, I don't think there's so much looking that you have to do as opposed to expressing what your beliefs are and then using, you attract it by expressing, by being, in your beliefs and exemplifying and embodying it. That's how you attract. You don't have to go looking for something when you attract it. And I mean, that's where I also think that technology plays a part, getting on social media. And I'm not saying incite, an argument or anything like that. But when you get on a social media platform and start to express what it is you believe, people gonna come running to that. It's gonna be like a moth to a flame. You are going to attract your tribe, because I feel like there's somebody out there saying, well, where do I find my tribe? Listen, you are the tribe, honey. You attract them.
Right. Exactly.
Even if it's just one of you right now, start speaking your beliefs and embodying that. And then before long, you won't feel so alone. You'll have a group of people who believe in the same things that can support you and you them.
Absolutely.
I don't know why I said that, but I feel like somebody need to hear that.
Yes, no, that's true. And Jupiter's going to bring all that. It's going to be a fortunate event. You're going to have opportunities. There's going to be luck. There are people that are going to match your belief. That's another Jupiter word. So it's going to bring all of that. But, and I keep saying but, because the more I study this science, the more respect and emphasis I give to Saturn. And so it's but, keep your boundaries, even with your friend groups that you're going to, even with your tribe, still Saturn's there hey, don't go too much into this whole tribe thing. What about your family even? Because that whole opposite side of Capricorn that went through so much change is Cancer. And Cancer is home. Cancer is children. Cancer is your family, your mother, the feminine energy. So it's okay, don't get all this independent and all that. Remember, this change that just happened all in this Capricorn was really giving nod to the feminine. And so it's still very important that we, attract and be disciplined and be at home and be with our children and be in a place where we're able to express our feminine energy and not necessarily giving too much to the people. If you will. Right. And it's still about that discipline. Don't y'all forget about Saturn.
Look, and you know what I hear you, but what I also hear you saying is that for married people, that means, take another look at what's not working and what is working, and see where you can create what it is that you want within the relationship. If you want to still be in the relationship.
Right.
If you don't, that's a whole nother story. But if you do still want to be in the relationship, in the partnership, and it ain't hitting you in all the right places, what can you do to create and bring more bond, more closeness into your family relationships?
Yes, absolutely. And is it that maybe you don't have anything that you have as your own independent thing. Maybe you don't have your own tribe outside of your family.
Right. Because
that's what you need to find. Or maybe you're giving too much to that. Mm-hmm. So it just is that balance that Saturn is like, where does the wall need to be? Does the wall need to come down and be rebuilt some, further out or closer in? Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. My third question for you was going to be about astrological shifts and impacts and all of that stuff. But I mean, you've been hitting it this whole time. And I know that I watched some of your lives and some of your stories and stuff. And you do this thing where you go through each sign. Can we do that a little bit of that today on the show?
I mean, yeah, because I don't know how much longer we have. I know.
I think we probably got about 10 minutes.
Yeah, that I do want to talk about the signs that I think that are going to have it the hardest. How about that? And not just the signs, the placements. So when I say, so for me, I think the signs that are really going to learn the most lessons this year, and even for the next 2 years, because Saturn is going to be involved, are Aquarius, because this energy is happening in Aquarius, as well as Leo, because Leo is opposite of Aquarius. Scorpio makes a square to Aquarius, and then Taurus makes a square on the other side. So those 4 signs, this is like your time, just like last year was more for the Capricorn, Cancer, Libra, and Aries placements. Well, now that's all moved. And so if you're an Aquarius or a Leo, and this is not going to be easy for you guys, a Scorpio or a Taurus, this is really about being disciplined. I think for these signs, because these are fixed signs, so they're stubborn, I think for these signs, it's about loosening up a bit and letting some walls down or reestablishing some systems, reestablishing your disciplines, your focus, your the areas of life in which you're growing, where you're independent. And, then the opposite of independence is Leo, which is very braggadocious and all about me. Like, are you being too much about yourself? Or for some Aquarius energies, you're giving too much to others. Like, you need to come back in and play and do more for yourself, like a Leo. You got to balance it out. Or maybe a Scorpio, maybe this is really hard for you because it's very intense. Maybe you don't want to do the shadow work or the spiritual work. You feel like you've really done enough already. And this is really just a time for you to show up in the spiritual and in the esoteric. I think, to me, Scorpio is the most intuitive, like witchy, like ritual, like magical. Like, it's magical, but it's not magic like Pisces is magic, like unicorns, fairy type magic.
More grounded.
No, they're magic like witchcraft.
Yeah.
And I think but I know that Scorpio realizes that it's intense, and so they may have a problem with revealing it. And so it's like, yo, Scorpio, we need your magic. Like, come on. This is a time for you guys to stop being so hidden and so private and so to yourself, and teach us how to tap into our intuition, because we all have Scorpio in our chart, but we don't all have a planet there. We don't all know how to tap in. And maybe we don't want to tap in. Maybe we're more earthy and practical, but we need you to tap in for us. So you can't be hiding in the corner with your powers, Scorpio.
Right. So all you people who do candle magic, runes, all you psychics, intuitives, y'all people who do Santeria, all of that stuff, and people have been trying to quiet you down and saying no. Listen, if you want to get you an altar built and you want to do it right, and you want to connect with ancestors, and you want to do it the right way and in a protected way, y'all hear what the woman just said. Listen,
bring it. Show us, and that's what we need. And then I do also think Taurus is going to have a hard time this year. And I think that because I know you got a Taurus moon, Uranus is there. And so this is a square from Aquarius. So Uranus is still just bringing disruption, and Mars is there right now. So this can be some frustration even. So for instance, a Taurus moon would have some emotional frustration that is just disrupting your day. Like, you're just like, what the hell? Why? And it's just because of the planets. And then I would think for you specifically, because you're Aries, And so Mars is coming into play for you. That's really like, what the hell? Like, why am I feeling an outburst? Why am I feeling, frantic or frustrated? Why am I so worried about money all of a sudden? Why do I want to hoard food all of a sudden? And it's like, just, try to calm down, reestablish your value systems with money, Taurus, and with the food source, Taurus. Make sure that, especially for you, Roz, that Taurus moon, make sure you're doing something to grow something from the earth. You need a garden. I don't care.
Girl, listen. You ain't lying.
Get a garden, Taurus.
we getting one this summer. I tell you, we get some maters out there and some green beans or something.
I think that Taurus may not connect. They have to reestablish their values with the earth instead of with things. And I think that this is what is really and see, Uranus rules Aquarius. And so and it's in Taurus. And so this is like there's still energy coming from Uranus there too, to where even some Taurus placements I see, it's like, okay, I feel like this could cause, like, all of a sudden you go to eat shrimp and it really makes you sick to your stomach. Oh. Yeah. Or whatever it is, like you might want to go ahead and get ahead of that right now, because if you don't, Uranus will shake it up. And so I think for Taurus placements, this is about this year and even the next 2 years is going to be more about you guys reestablishing your values with money and things and food and using what you know about the value of money and things and food for the collective. Like you, again, Taurus is another private sign. It's the opposite of Scorpio, but it's still on par with Scorpio. Like, we still gonna keep things secret, but Taurus will keep their money a secret. Scorpio keep their powers a secret. So Taurus, it's like if you find some good financial advice or some good investments or some good opportunity, go ahead and share it with the people. If you found a new value system, a new alternative coin or something like that you think is good, go ahead and share it with the people.
Share with the people. Share.
Yeah, you don't have to keep this to yourself. If you found some good gardening techniques.
Share with the people.
And Aquarius, yes, this is, for you guys, this is really about being independent. But Aquarius, this is not the time to be a rebel without a cause. If you have a cause, good. If it makes sense, if people are on board. Now, I know Aquarius is like, I don't need people to be on board. I got this. No, you need people to be on board. Stop trying to be ridiculously independent and, overly revolutionary. Like, have some discipline here. Saturn is in your sign. Make sure it makes sense. Think about it for a little bit and then decide if this is really what you want to do.
Yeah. Just don't go blazing out here and just, all cavalier.
Storming the Capitol. That is so rebel without a cause. What? So, okay, now y'all got the Capitol. Now what?
Now what? Now what? Now you
just gonna move in? Y'all gonna live here now? Because it really makes no sense.
It wasn't a well thought out plan at all.
Right. So this is the kind of Aquarius energy that you wanted. Those people are gonna get in trouble now. Now Saturn is gonna put you behind concrete walls. That's so Saturn. Walls, concrete. Okay, that's so Saturn. So it's like, don't do that, Aquarius. Make sure you have a cause. Make sure it makes sense. Make sure you thought this through. Make sure you got a whole plan of action and you're disciplined about it. It is good. Revolution, innovation, all of that is good, but think this through all the way. Sometimes Aquarius likes to rebel just simply to rebel. And this is the lessons that you guys will be learning over the next really 2 years. I think you'll have a lot of opportunities this first year, but after that, you're going to learn the lessons if you haven't been responsible. That's for all 4 of those placements. And when I say those placements, I mean sun, moon, or rising. And I'd probably even go ahead and throw Mercury in there as well. But that'll probably be covered with the sun. So if you have one of those placements as your sun, your moon, or your rising, you really want to pay attention. And you probably want to book a reading with me.
At where can they do that?
missastrology.us. And we have a code for our listeners today. Yes. Soul Healing will get you $15 off of a reading. They're on Zoom. They're recorded. I send you the recording afterwards. I have excellent reviews. You can find me on Instagram at Miss Astrology and even on YouTube, MS Astrology.
There you go, y'all. There you go. That coupon code again was SOUL, SOUL, healing, HEALING for $15 off a birth chart reading with Wanica. I'm gonna also post it on my social media sites. Wanica, thank you so much for being on the show today. It's always good to have you. You guys, thank you again for listening. Again, follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Soul Healing with Roz. Share your thoughts. Meet me back here next time for another episode. Until then, stay strong, stay positive, vibe high, find the balance, and keep doing the work at your own pace. Stay safe and don't storm no walls or no capitals. Much love, you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you again for listening to Soul Healing Conversations. Please join Roz Kincaid again for another program next Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific Time and 3 p.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America Variety Channel. We'll talk again next week.